we've got my dad, Paul here, Ron, Snake, whatever you want to call him.
Just call me the Snake. That's good.
Snake. We got Tom, father, son. Anyway, we're making a product review video real quick on some of the boots we use, and we recently actually got a sponsorship with Lacrosse. They're our only sponsor
That we all agree on.
that we can all agree on to have. So
Because we believe in their product. Period.
exactly. Most of these boots we've had years before we were ever sponsored by Lacrosse. So we're gonna show you some of the new ones, some of the old ones, what shape they're in, what we like, what we don't like.
When me and Brian were younger, we were buying Burley boots from Big R when we were like 15, running around with tree lounges on our back, so
Yeah.
we've worn them forever.
If you look at actually my
Yeah, let me go.
ALPHABURLYs, I've wore these. These things should be worn out and trashed by now. I've only had them since spring, so I've had them about 6 months. I've worn them fishing, turkey hunting, mushroom hunting, putting in food plots, checking trail cameras, hanging deer stands. I mean, I've wore the crap out of these things, and you can see these. I've worn them so much they're faded from the sun.
Yeah.
Which something else that I've actually got from Lacrosse is rubber conditioning spray. It was like $7, and they say when your boot starts looking like this, spray it down in that and let it sit. There's instructions on it. It's supposed to like renew it. Basically, it'll make it so your boots will not dry rot.
Well, now you tell us.
So I've got that inside that we can all use on our boots.
Keeping that a secret.
Yeah, like these
Plus,
right here. He could probably use
scent
them on.
control. Definitely. Deer walk down the same trail you walk down. There ain't no problem with that. Definitely.
So I don't know what I snagged, but up here outside of the rubber, I felt a little leak on these. So I've got a little hole in the top here on these boots. Some like plumber's goo or something on it.
Shoe goo from
Shoe
Big R.
goo. I think usually for me, one pair of boots, I'd buy one pair because I didn't have the money to buy 2 or 3 pairs per year or whatever. And that one pair of Lacrosse boots would last me on average usually 2 years, and then they'd be pretty beat up, but that's because we would hunt.
Wear 2 boots. I wear a heavy winter boot, which is your 1600 Burley, and your uninsulated Alpha Pro, which is a great boot. Will get you almost to November sitting in the stand before you have to go to your heavier boot. And I got a pair which I didn't bring, which I have got 6 years in so far. But we got a new pair here. We're going to put them on this year. And, well, how long have you been hunting deer, Paul?
Oh, a long time.
Right. As long as me, right?
Yes, I'm 57.
Tell us about your the boots you used to wear before. I think my
Right,
dad's.
that's what I'm getting at. The boots you used to
I
wear.
think my dad is the only one out of our whole group that did not wear Lacrosse boots before we got sponsored.
Way back in the day, I've been hunting for 40 years.
Wearing leather boots and Mickey
Leather
Mouse
boots, and the only other boot
So when
that
did you?
came close to Lacrosse boot was the Mickey Mouse boot. That was military issue.
Gotcha.
That's the only other boot that would handle my abuse
So when
until Lacrosse.
When did you start wearing Lacrosse boots?
Probably,
when we were all young, buying them at Big R.
I probably wore out probably 10 years
10 years.
only.
Now, Dad, this is your first pair of Lacrosse boots, right?
Right, and I was wearing, I hate to name brand crush somebody, but I would wear theirs all the time. And every single year, I would keep getting leaks right in here. And I would and I would get a new pair. But it gets old when your boots, you keep having this hassle of them leaking, because I usually wore one pair of boots for everything.
Dry rot.
Right.
And so, anyway, boots are sitting on the shelf right now because they leak. And these I've been wearing ever since catfishing season this year.
Yeah, you got those around.
Yeah, Paul was down.
March, maybe
and,
April.
these are going to go all through this hunting season now.
Oh, you were down there in the hot, warm spring in your 1,600 gram boot.
Yeah, I was.
We got
He
Then
wore
I'd strip-
1,600 gram all
Then I'd
summer
strip
long.
off out of the mud and get my cutoffs on and get up on the dam without them.
I got 3 years on these
But
uninsulated.
they keep you out of the stingweed and out of the mud and get you where
Course
you're going.
tread, great, go right up a hill.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Me and him have the same.
Very limited. They're starting to wear pretty good, but still, I love this boot.
Now you're saying
No dry rot. These are the only boots that will hold up, that won't dry rot. I don't know what kind of rubber they use, you know,
These are actually
but it's
yours.
good.
It works.
It works. Otherwise, we wouldn't use it.
Right.
I wouldn't wear a Lacrosse boot if it was sponsored. I wear what I believe in and what works, period. Period. That's why I wanted them. I wanted a lightweight boot for going way back in the woods, which we do, something that will last.
And
So he likes these uninsulated boots for all year long.
And look at this big old Burley, the big Alpha 1600.
Yeah. So look
Looks,
at
it's huge,
look at
but
the-
it's light. It's light. Look at the tread.
And they're easy to get on and off.
Very, very easy.
And I've had some other boots that are murder getting on and off.
Yeah, like you're about to pull your foot off.
This is a new boot Lacrosse came out with. It's called the Arrowhead. And I don't have a pair. None of us right here have a pair, but 2 guys on our team bought a pair this year in the spring. And Josh, he's our cameraman. He wasn't able to make it today, but he has worn this boot all spring and all summer. And what he told us was, for him, it was the most comfortable boot he's ever worn.
It is very comfortable. With good ankle support. As you can see, it's doubled up. You got neoprene backs with doubled up support. I don't know what it is. It's a rubber.
This is supposed to be their toughest boot, is their marketing on it.
Shin guard, ankle guard. It's a nice boot. A little bit different tread on it. I don't know.
and I have a witness to how tough they are.
They said this isn't supposed to rip.
Justin Waggle, you've probably seen him on the dam fishing videos. When we were building a bridge in the middle of the winter, he wore a pair of Arrowheads every day, and he's a big guy. What is he, like 300 pounds? Like 6'4" or 5", and
It's a beautiful looking boot.
and he didn't tear them up. They didn't leak.
You got
And he didn't even want to put on his work
reinforced
boots
seams,
most of the time. He just
vulcanized
wore those.
on the neoprene. This is a fairly insulated boot too.
Yeah, so they sell these,
I'm
and
thinking that's about 1,000.
they sell them in 3mm and 7mm neoprene.
That's got to be
That's
the
the
thicker
rating.
one.
So how that converts to
That's
like
a nice boot.
1,000 gram, 1,600 gram. They say the 7mm is actually similar to that 1,600.
When I wear this boot out, I'm going to this boot.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Period.
And now they have an Arrowhead Sport, which is a little bit lighter than this. But yeah, Josh said this thing is the most comfortable boot he's ever worn, and it's really tough. He hasn't torn his yet.
I do construction for a living, commercial bridge work and stuff. These are 2 years old. I've hunted in them for 2 years. And just this past summer, we've done a box culvert. I wore these every day for like 20-something days. And they're finally starting to come apart at the heel and the sole, and they still don't leak. And they're still going strong. And these are the Burley air grips. If you can, Brian, if you can zoom in on that. I don't know how many miles I've put on them, but they take the abuse. I figured just working in them, doing the construction stuff, I would already put a hole in these things, but I haven't. I just ordered a brand new pair, so I got these for at home, work, and chicken cooping. And I got a brand new pair at home for deer hunting this year.
For sure.
And I got my brother a pair for Christmas, Dan, and he loves them.
Oh yeah. Great.
So you
lightweight
can wear them all
working
the
boot.
way up until your feet can't handle the cold.
Now, lastly, we have these hip waders. They're Big CHEIF hip waders.
That's nice.
These
They're
are,
the only one that has them.
I paid, they're right around $100, I think. 130, something like that. But the awesome thing about these waders, I had a pair of waders before, and they were just so uncomfortable. And I used to wear them across the river. I would change out of them and put on my hunting boots to sit in the stand, so my feet wouldn't get cold, and they were just uncomfortable. Well, these guys are 600 grams insulation, so they got a little bit of warmth to them, and they're super comfortable. It's like you're walking in a pair of these ALPHABURLYs. It's got right here, you put them on, and it's got lace up. Yep, and it buttons.
Yeah. Nice,
and then that stays, it keeps the boot real solid around your leg. And then, yeah, you just pull it up after you have it on and go to town. And they're real, my last waders actually dry rotted, they weren't Lacrosse. So now I'm glad I have that conditioning spray, and when these start feeling not oily again or whatever, I'll just spray them down. And but these are, for me, a necessity out here. I hunt, I gotta cross a lot of creeks and rivers, and when it floods, they're up. And last year I couldn't go to a lot of my hunting spots because the river was up too high. So
that's what we use.
That's what we got.
That's all perfect.
Lacrosse, give it a try.
Yeah.
I do construction for a living, and I've worn these
Get
for
back
2
here
years.
so it's in focus.
Tom, stand behind here.
Well, they can see that.
Well, it actually won't be in focus.
All right, we'll cut that out.
I'll get
I don't know, Brian. You know these are, what do you call these?
arrowheads.
I don't know nothing about them. Do you? Yeah. Something I like that. Look at that.
Try to go back there.
Ankle
We're not
support.
ready.
You're not ready?
No.
When? What time? I gotta go home and make lunch.
20 minutes.
Tomorrow. I have to get up at 5, Brian, in the morning.
All right.
So, what do you have to do?
Cut.